story, guys. Of course, me and Priya are somebody who likes running and all, so we are always looking for inspiration. And especially, we have a constant question: can we find somebody in India? And one day, Priya saw an
Yeah.
Instagram profile.
Around last summer, actually, I saw him on Strava. So usually you see when you see big numbers, you see it 1 day or 2 day. But when I looked at Keshav's profile, I always see him keeping posting his stats, which is like intrigued me. Oh my God, who's this guy? I need to know more about him. So when I researched about him, the first thing which made me curious is his Instagram handle, Farmer on the Run. So it just so excited me, like Farmer on the Run, like the Highway Runner, the Coke Runner. All of these are like nickname titles for him for what he do. And as I mentioned before, he's like very well accomplished with his career. Like he's an MBA graduate, he cleared his prelims, but he chose to do organic farming and he promotes it all over India, and especially have his own army of runners, right? So thanks, Keshav, for coming in. So, yeah.
Yeah, so do you wanna quickly say a message? Of course, we wanna keep it more interactive. We are gonna ask you questions, but I'm
Uh,
giving you the dais to you.
no, no, you can straight.
Okay. Thank you, Keshav.
So, as I mentioned, so all this title intrigued me, right? So, when did you started your career of running? And let's say we all take our Jan 1st resolution, like everyone do. Okay, let me be active for this year. But you're one of the most consistent guy. So, what's the mindset behind it? How did you started everything?
Uh, uh, to start with, I started my running in 2010, and A to B thing has always appealed to me. I have done it on car, on bicycle, on by running, and by every. There were few categories: 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, 21. So I noticed one thing that from 21, timing certificate would come and numbers would come. So as all of you know, or you would know by the end of the session, uh, I have a huge passion for numbers. So I straightforwardly registered for 21 thing without thinking that I have never ran in my life. I had no sports background, nothing from my school. So just for the love of numbers, that I would be getting some data that I have finished the half marathon, 21 kilometers in this much of time. I registered for 21, and next morning I went for the training thing, and I could not do, I could not run beyond 200 meters, uh, which happens to most of the beginners. And I suppose most of the audience are beginners. So, so I was really disappointed. I tried twice, thrice, and for 3 consecutive days, I couldn't run beyond half a mile. So, uh, and I had no exposure of running at that point of time. So I assumed that if I am not able to run, then uh, the event is supposed to walk run, and we just have to go for the leisure walk, because uh, with my limited understanding, I thought that running is restricted to 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters. Race categories are like this. So for the bigger distances, people used to walk. I assumed that, and I practiced with walking till 8 kilometers. I practiced for 7 or 10 odd days, and the event came, and I went there. And it was, and unfortunately, it was an ultra running event in Gurgaon, Running and Living. They used to organize that, and so I was pretty late by 3 to 4 minutes, so I couldn't trace any runner. So I thought that let's run for a kilometer, and I would catch up with them, and I would walk with them. I was completely innocent by that time, and it was the ultra running event of one. The categories were 21, 42, 63, and 105 in 2010. So there were categories like 105. and it was a loop of 10 kilometers. And when I started running for 5 to 10 minutes, one guy was coming from the opposite side because he was completing the loop, and he started early because his category was 63 or 105, and his age was around 58, 59. Later, when I checked with the numbers. So then I realized that at that point of time I was 26 years old. So, so then I realized that a young guy of 26 years old, 26 years of age, would be walking, and the guy with 58 years of age is running from past 1 hour. So it would be really embarrassing. So just to save my younger I kept with a slower pace of 7:38, which I never did in my life. And this answers to your question, mind over matter, that I completed the whole 21 kilometers by running without even walking for a single step. But I took good 2 hours 40 minutes of time for that. But I did not walk, and for my entire training range, I walked for only 8 kilometers. My maximum distance was 8 with walking, so no running. So when you tune your mind, so it can do wonders. So that's how my running journey started. Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm sure many people can relate, people who are runners. But the other thing, right? Most people initially you'll have that adrenaline rush. The
Yeah.
first run, right? You had the motivation, you saw the people, so you were excited, right? But now going back the next day to your home, right? Your excitement goes down, or you have, I'm sure you felt pain in your legs and all. So that's like, there is a mindset called as marathon mindset. Most people take life everything for that initial excitement, like, let me be a sprinter, hold my breath, dash the 100 meter.
Yeah.
But for running, right, to run 21 kilometers, or in fact 222 kilometers, they call it endurance. But what was your mindset, like, how were you able to build that mindset, because it's a new sport for you?
Yeah, but I was very clear from the beginning that I have to start slow. That's what I have. I train few people out here. So my mantra is very simple: that start very slow, build up gradually, and then gradually pick up. So that thing was innate to me. So I always start my run very slowly, and I sum up this thing in one line: the people who have started their marathon, like Usain Bolt, their journey, their half marathon or marathon never ended. Because if you push in the beginning, you would end up nowhere. So I was very much clear with this thing. So I start very slow, and most of the training at my earlier stages happened at the 7:30 pace, 7:30 for a kilometer, and around 11 to 12 for a mile, 11 minutes a mile. So that, and there are two quotes. That one, if you have started your race like Usain Bolt for a marathon, so chances are very bleak that you would succeed with the marathon. Number one, and number two is respect every mile, and even a single mile can break you. So I have always respected a mile, and for the beginners, message is mile is a mile, and runner is a runner, no matter how fast and how slow. If you can run a mile, you can run a marathon. It is as simple as that. No rocket science behind this. If you can endure a mile while with running, you can definitely go till 26.2 miles. So that's how this was very much clear to me. I don't know why and how, but it was the thing. This was the mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see most of the endurance runner, they always compare their life with running because they know what kind of ups and downs they go. It's all about the mindset, right? How you said, it's all about taking a small things. So in your day-to-day life, because even you, as far as I know, you work 12 hours in your farm, like doing the, like all other, your day-to-day job. And at the same time, you don't miss even a single day having that active lifestyle, even though it might be to declutter your mind, or it might be like having a healthy lifestyle, or it actually inspires many of the people. What actually make you do that balance, that consistency? It's not a matter of running. In a matter of fact, it implements in every spoke of your life, right? How do you balance that consistency in day-to-day life?
For me, it's not about health or anything else. So I would be blunt and honest that I run for the love of numbers. So that consecutive word, consecutive thing appeals to me, that I have done 13 consecutive days. So it has to go till 30. So this consecutive half marathon streak, this started with I started with a number of 30 days that I would run for the complete month of May. So first 31st, it started on 31st May, that June, and June is the hottest month for North India, and temperature soars to around 48 degrees Celsius. So I challenged myself that I would be running a half marathon for 30 days. So and there is one self quote for me, that number once written upon the wall must be adhered. So if I have decided upon a thing, either it would be completed or I won't be alive. So there are only two options. So I completed that 30 days. Then from 30 days, I modified it to 100 days, and then for 222 days. So I ran 222 consecutive half marathons for 222 consecutive days. So the love for numbers and that thing pushed me to the thing. So that's how consistency. I'm
Yeah,
not that.
I see the numbers is your why. So everyone need to have their why to be consistent in what no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's amazing. But you actually make it look simple. But I have seen your stories and all. So I have seen you, like, no matter how strong you are built up, right? Life throws curveballs at you. There are situations which you have to take care. Like, I've seen you a picture of you running, in a suit
In a suit,
suit
yeah.
with a shoe,
Yeah,
right?
especially in India, you have wedding every other day or a festival every other day. So, how have you been through all that? Like running in your suit and like the formal shoes. That's like amazing, man.
I never realized this thing, but few of my friends, he might have joined the thing, Mohit Sharma. So he gave me one term. Well, he realized this thing for me, that I am a all-weather, all-time runner. So I can run anywhere, any place, in any attire, with or without shoes. So few of the eccentric runs were, I ran in leather boots weighing 2 kg each. So they were pure leather and 2 kg each, 4 kg of shoes. I am just 60 kg. So carry 4 kgs extra, this is around 7% extra weight I had to carry, and it was snowing. So it was snow, leather boots, and all that. So, but it was Sunday. One more streak which is continuing is Sunday, consecutive Sunday half marathons. I started it around some 4.5 years back. So tomorrow it would be 234th consecutive Sunday half marathon. So I was in hills. I got stranded in snow, so I was not carrying sports shoes and attire. I got stranded. Roads got closed, so I was stuck. And Sunday came, so so I was helpless, and the 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 power of numbers overpowered, and I had to do that. So I have ran in formals. I have ran in all kind of shoes, boots, without shoes, barefoot running, and with some 5 kg of uh, running gear. So I've tried it everything, and uh, that experimentation and that eccentric approach has polished me further, and that this is responsible for my current version, this current version of mine. So
Fantastic.
and yes, this is not easy. So as Yashwant has said, it was not easy. When I finished that run, there were blisters, and the picture what you have seen is from HDOR 2018. There was one challenge, 100 days of running challenge. You have to run for 100 consecutive days, minimum 2 kilometers. So I was leading that event. So since the start, I was holding the rank one. Uh, to be on the leaderboard, I was very committed. So I sacrificed my professional life, and I dumped my office job for good 45 days. And there are many commitments cannot forego, especially in India, as she has rightly said that it was a closed wedding and I had to go. So I was doing the loops of 2 kilometers every hour. So I parked my car in McDonald's. There were my nephews were accompanying me in my car. I bought them the burger, and they said that we would take 15 minutes to have our meal. So I utilized those 15 minutes. That entire journey I kept on running, but on that particular day I could only manage 18 kilometers for that day. Otherwise I was having a mileage of 60 to 70 kilometers per day. So 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 again the commitment for numbers and that passion. So so uh, but these things polish you further, and our body is a very adaptive machine, so it adapts. So I enjoy that process.
Amazing. As you said, right, most people sometimes, even I love running as a sport. For me, it gives me that peace of mind. It gives me a positive self-image, and something that I own my day. But usually it spills out to your rest of your life. It's not just you're only successful as a runner. You're married now, and you actually do over 100 acres of farming, right? And you promote big time, like I would say, charity events, organic farming, helping people, traveling all across India, doing various, you know, like running events and all. So how does this whole thing can help you, like if you are talking to a new guy, like how can you say it's not about running, right? It's about anything, doing consistently, doing it no matter what. How can it affect their life from your experience, right? You have a decade of experience of running. What are the side effects of it? How did it enhance your life in other areas?
Yeah, yeah. So that commitment thing spills over. I am a perfectionist by nature since my birth. So I give it all to the stuff I'm doing. If I have to buy a pencil, it would be properly researched, and I would spend hours. So but side effects are negative, I would say, for me, that because if I'm engrossed into one thing, all my energies and all the stuff would be focused there. So I would be compromising upon other important aspects. But at that time I get blind. I cannot see any further. So but since the day I've started organic farming, my commitment has shifted to organic farming. So I spend 10 to 12 hours in a field. That 222 consecutive Sunday half marathons, 222 consecutive half marathons streak ended on 31st of December. And after that, I am even compromising, or running has taken a back seat, because I walk more than a half marathon in my fields. So when I come back to home, my Fitbit and Apple Watch says that I have walked 40 to 50,000 odd steps in a day. So now I have got some other uh, professional commitments and professional projects running simultaneously, which are feeding me and my running and my organic farming, because I'm not earning anything out of organic farming till date. But I'm compromising upon those projects, so I'm not able to give time to my other professional ventures which I have started. So now I'm completely focused upon organic farming. But I'm quite confident that it would pay me rich dividends in future. Not in terms of money, that I would be able to contribute towards the health of uh, millions of people. That's my vision. So I'm working upon that. So running has taught me many things: how to be consistent, how to be focused, and how to churn the data and numbers, how to learn from the past and apply to the future, how to learn from your mistakes, how to be adaptive, how to think, how to let go things. So which I apply to all other aspects of my life and uh, my profession. So these are my learnings which I'm carrying forward.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. Like having that long-term mindset, vision, and goal. Like I'm pretty sure you'll inspire millions of folks out there. But the other question I have is, as a beginner, like even I did the mistake by myself, especially on a Strava or somewhere. Like the social media is a huge world, right? You see some other numbers and you start comparing yourself. Oh, I'm unable to run as fast as them, or I'm unable to do like this, or my half marathon number is like so big. They're running in just 2 hours or 1.5 hour. Like, what do you say? Like, I know you train yourself on a heart rate based training, right? And I see your half marathon time like tremendously increased from last 10 years. Like you are keeping the stats, the numbers changed. So how did the heart rate training help you, and what is your one thing that you say all the beginners, no matter what do they need to start with?
Yeah, yeah. I have trained with the heart rate from 2013. I got the Garmin with heart rate belt. At that time, optical heart rate sensors were not there in the watch. So the only thing to measure your heart rate was the chest strap, which I'm still following that old school thought. And so there are two thumb rules that for the beginners or even for the elites, that you have to build the base at 120 to 140 heart rate. You don't have to run with the pace looking at the another runner's pace, or your targeted even not with your targeted pace, that I have to run a sub 2, I have to run a sub 100, sub 80. So pace would not define your run. Heart rate would define your run. So you have to be in a zone of 120 to 140 heart rate. The pace can be 6 minutes a kilometer, 8 minutes a kilometer, and I have trained few people who have trained who have to walk, run, or who have run at a pace uh, 10 minutes a kilometer, which is around 16 minutes for a mile. He was running at a pace of 16 minutes a mile. I would name him. He's a very close friend, Mohit Bhaiya, a Jat from North India. So he used to tell me that Keshav, it gets very embarrassing when a walker overtakes you. You are running and a walker overtakes you. But I told him to be patient, and he was very committed and very much patient, and he has improved tremendously in over a period of 3 months. Only a 3 months, in 1 quarter, he has improved tremendously. So heart rate is the only thing which needs to be focused. That heart rate should be 120 to 140. Pace can be 5 minutes a mile, or pace can be 16 minutes a mile. So that's how I have trained throughout my life, and that has worked for me. I started my journey with 2:43. My first half marathon, the timing was 2 hours 43 minutes, and my personal best is 1 hour 27 minutes. So and I have one, and I'm keeping a record of that. I started my half marathon journey with ADHM, Airtel Delhi Half Marathon. It's a big event in India, and it has got the international visibility as well. People from across the globe participate in that event. Some 40,000 odd athletes participate in this event. Second largest event in India. So I'm running it from 2010. So I have shaved off a minute or two or 5 minutes or 10 minutes every subsequent year. So I started with 2 hour 43 minutes. So with all the 10 consecutive ADHMs, 8 Delhi Half Marathon, my time I have shaved off few minutes. So I have shaved off uh, 71 minutes uh, in 1 decade.
Wow.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
I this improvement to heart rate based training.
That's, I vouch for it. That's one thing which helped me. I'm sure Keshav will say that that is what the secret for not having injuries also. When you are in that heart rate, it's hard to get injured, right? Because you are always comfortably running and all. But Keshav, uh,
I would like to contribute upon the three things since we have to discuss this in this meeting. That most of the injuries happen when we overpush and we work out on the tired body, already fatigued or injured body. uh, Body gives you sign much before. If you can listen to your body, if you can read to the symptoms, so you should not get injured. When we get over ambitious, when we try to do too much too soon, most of the injuries happen during the speed sessions, and when we over push and when we try to overachieve in a smaller period of time. So if you're taking it easy and listening to your body, you can remain injury free. And by God's grace, the my decade long running career has absolutely been injury free. So by God's grace and by following this heart rate thing, and for the beginners, I would like to advise that uh, there are two thumb rules. Which carrying forward from past 40 past 4 decades. 80-20 principle and 10% rule. 80-20 principle says that 80% of your runs should be easy in a week or in a month, and 20% you should push. And I have modified it to my comfort zone or with my own experience, that it should be 90-10. So 90% of your runs should be easy, and on one run, you can push fartlek, intervals, tempo, and other stuff. So I run 6 easy half marathons in a week, and I go all out for the Sunday half marathon. So I did around 15 sub hundreds for 15 consecutive Sundays with ease, without training for speed or anything. Most of my runs be 2 hours plus for 6 consecutive days. But seventh day it would be 700, and it continued for 15 weeks. So it is time tested, because you can hit a fluke once or twice, not 15 for 15 consecutive weeks. So first principle is 80-20 or 85-15, I would say, and another is 10% rule. Increase your mileage 10 by 10% for every subsequent week, and that's how you build. Most of the people come to me that I was doing a streak that 100 miler a week. So I kept my mileage at 200 kilometers for a week for half a year. So many people approach me that we need to do 100 miler a week. But things don't work this way. You cannot decide and wake up one fine morning and reach there. So you have to you have to take, again, this is the organic approach. That since we have discussed organic farming, it would take time, but it would rich dividend in future, and that would be sustainable. Any person can run 200 kilometers for a week, but it would be difficult to sustain. So the right approach would be to start with 25 kilometers a week, then 30, 35, 40, 50, then gradually increase your mileage. So if you follow these two things, I can ensure that you would minimize the probability of getting injured.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, there is nothing, debatable. Talk to any successful businessman, any sports person, not just running. What Keshav is just sharing are the principles which apply for every field, every walk of life. One other thing I observed, Keshav, you are like, unlike most of us, you stay close to nature. I can say that you love being in the mud, right? You love the nature, the green, the soil. So can you talk about the importance of it?
Yeah, uh, have always been a nature person. Uh, there is one question which is coming in the later part of the interview, so I am answering that. Where do you see yourself 10 years down the line? So I see myself settled deep into the woods somewhere in Canada or Scandinavia or in Leh Ladakh. So I like dense forests and nature. It's innate to me. And when you stay close to nature, you learn a lot, and then you grow a lot, and maybe it's my own personal thing. So nature has always pulled me. The so so how do I put it that and there is one famous saying or quote in which I believe that try to eat uh, majority of your stuff that uh, grows on plants, not in plants. That should not be manufactured. That should be raw directly from the nature. And I want to, I hope people have understood. I'm repeating myself that try to eat things which grow on plants, not in plants. On plants means natural, straight from the farms, raw in raw form, and in plants mean manufactured uh, into the plants and packed into the boxes, not the processed food. So one thing is this, and I want to break another myth which few of you must be aware, or uh, and I would be clearing it for the rest of the audience that what we have learned over the past that we need lots of protein to recover. So non-veg, chicken, and then other stuff uh, we cannot complete. We cannot have enough of the proteins from the veggie on the vegetable stuff. So need to have external source of protein, or we need to inculcate non-veg into our diets. So fastest form of recovery happens with the plant-based diet. So vegan is the best. Though I'm not a vegan, but if you can eat the vegetables and the stuff in the raw form, if you can grow them in your kitchen garden or that thing, and try to consume that in the rawest form, so your recovery would be fastest, and you would feel very light, and you would be recovered in hours. And Yashwant has tried that. He was fasting for I was just going through his profile, 70 hours. He fasted and then he ran 5 miles. So our body has enough reserve to sustain. So I don't believe in fads and lots of things that eat this. We have to eat the most expensive stuff. We have to import it or store it. So I don't believe in processed food. So
As we are talking about mythbusters, I also wanted to talk about the other myths because I hear a lot, especially like Yashwant being an ultra runner, or like when I started, people start saying either you would lose your muscle when you run, or else you might hurt your knees. Oh my, I think you might get arthritis soon because you are running so long. Running long distance might be bad for you. Like you'll actually listen like hundred of things on running. Like especially there are many. Like what on your perspective are few of the myth busters like for the running, and to avoid thinking of such kind of things when you start any kind of endurance in your life?
So let's go with your first. Let's get into the first of your question. First thing first, that uh, you would lose muscle, uh, and there is this principle has been tested over thousands of years, that which says survival of the fittest. So the muscles which are required for our survival, to work, they would be saved. So I've burned lots of my muscle. My muscle mass, the visible muscle mass was not there when I did 5,300 kilometers in 100 odd days during the toughest time in North India, May, June, July. It's full of humidity and heat waves. So I was I shed around 18 kgs from the skeleton. I was 70 kgs, and during the last day of that challenge, I weighed 54 kgs. My fat percentage was 4.8, and so many people approach me that there must be some internal organ failure, or you won't be able to reproduce, and many other things. So I got my uh, complete body checkup done after 3 days, and my doctor was stunned with the figures what he read on my report. So all my vitals were working absolutely fine. I developed 8-pack abs during that process, and I was surviving on white sugar. I was drinking Coke, and I was taking lots of salt. So gym people say that there are three uh, soft poisons, slow poisons. There are three slow poisons: white rice, white sugar, and white salt. So if you have to develop a good body, or if you have to develop six-pack abs, you need to give up upon these three things first, and then work out, then take some external protein, BCAAs, and creatine, and then it goes on. Then you would develop six-pack abs. And I developed 8-pack abs over these three things only, without doing any single session of strength training. So I'm not mentioning this thing to boast myself, but I'm stressing upon that myth buster, that body adapts to anything. You need to learn to burn the calories you are taking, and your body can do wonders. So the muscle which is required for our survival and for our daily activities, they would survive, and they would get strengthened in the process automatically, if you're following it organically. So after that challenge, I became 10 times more agile, double my productivity, doubled in my professional life. So I rediscovered the complete new version of mine after that. So these all are myths, so I do not endorse them.
Thank you so much for kind of shedding the light. Most.
And I told you that I would be substantiating that fact with two examples. One is this, my personal thing, and second, there is one uh, very famous model uh, in India named Milind Soman. Most of you heard about him, and people who are not aware in US and Canada can Google Milind Soman. Uh, when I started my running, I was very much fascinated with that guy. I still am. So he runs barefoot, and he is 55 years old. He has run from Delhi to Mumbai, 1,500 kilometers in 30 days. Half of it was barefoot. So if knees have to got hurt, arthritis have to come. When? My question is when. He's already 55 and he's ultra fit. You can make him stand next to a 25 years old guy, and that guy would be embarrassed with his build and with his aura. So my question is, if arthritis has to come, when? My question is when? He's 55. He has run around 1 lakh kilometers till date, and he's the fittest man I have ever known in India. He has done Ironman. He has done Ultraman. He runs 50 kilometers just like a cakewalk. He eats everything. So 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 I think that answers it all.
Yeah. As the question came, like I wanted to ask you, who's like your inspiration?
Yeah. Uh, Number one driving force is obviously numbers, but if we are asking in terms of a human, and so Milind Soman is my second thing, and my running god is Dean Karnazes. You two guys have met him recently, or an year back. So, and my favorite book is again the Ultra Marathon Man, Confession of an Ultra Runner. So, Dean
That's nice.
Karnazes is the man.
Yeah. So as
And I
we
want
kind
to,
of, sorry.
yeah, I want to some numbers again that uh, he is also 55 or 56 years old, and the metabolic his metabolic age and the real age of his left leg is 16 years, and his right leg is 18 years. What doctors have researched and tested. So these things appeals me the most. And second thing, uh, his approach towards life. So I was listening to one of his interview, and he was mentioning that my best is yet to come. I haven't unleashed all my potential. The best phase of my life is yet to come. So with those two things, I'm his fan. He's my inspiration.
Yeah.
No, that's very, very well said. He's my inspiration too. Because of him, I started running. In fact, when I met him, again, for people who don't know, please, you can check the ultra marathon man, Dean Karnarnes. He's from Greece originally. He ran a straight 550 kilometers. That you can only dream about it. But I'm gonna quickly jump into rapid fire. Keshav. So, after that, we will have a small Q&A session. So people who want to ask any questions, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box. So we will pick, what makes appropriate to everyone. But to start with, right, if you live by any quote, what would it be?
Yeah, it's in Hindi. So firstly, I would mention it in Hindi, then I would translate. It it says, "दौड़ते हैं तो जिंदा हैं." I run, that's why I live. So and it's my original quote. It came to me naturally one fine day while running. दौड़ते हैं तो जिंदा हैं.
Nice.
So
So my
this is the
next
quote.
question is, what are your weaknesses?
Uh, my biggest strength is my weakness that I am a hardcore perfectionist and extremist. So if I go into one thing, I never come back till I achieve that thing. So this is my strength, and again, this is my weakness because I lose very important stuff and prioritize. I'm very weak at prioritizing. So I've paid lots of price in my life because of this uh, innate trait.
Got it. Yeah, for everything, that's true. Of course, if you were to gift one book to everyone, for the entire world, if you have the capacity, what
Yeah.
book would
So
it be?
this is Confession of an Ultra Runner from Dean Karnazes.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely that's in my in my collection as well. So, what do you say yourself to 10 years younger from the life you had so far, right? From all the experience, what would you say to an younger Keshav who's 10 years younger? How would you guide him?
Mm, that consistency should have come at an earlier stage. That be consistent and focused. This is the thing.
Got it. So if you were to keep something on the billboard, like billboard means where everybody passes by sees it. So what would it be? Now, what will you write on a billboard?
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge. Again, for people who don't know, Keshav has a collection of 1,000 books. Okay, he's an very voracious reader. Again, he farms all the food he eats. Not 100%, it's close to
Yeah,
impossible.
the
But
90% of platter is from his farm.
so we were privileged to get a tour of his farm. So I'm talking about from rice, chapati in the floor, the fruits, the vegetables, everything. The nuts.
The gold, the black gold, the jaggery.
The jaggery. Even he doesn't take sugar. He eats jaggery, sugar cane, everything from his own farm. And of course, anybody who visits, he keeps giving them tons and tons of gifts in the form of organic farming. Of course, my last question, right? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? What is your ideal, Keshav?
Uh, I want to put all my professional ventures on autopilot mode by then, and I see myself. I see myself deep down into the woods 10 years down the line, and the thing which I conceptualized that I want to run uh, marathon in each and every country listed in United Nations. So I would backpack a country and run a marathon at the same time. So I have to cover 4 to 5 countries in 1 year. So I'm already running late. So so this is the thing, and I want to climb Mount Everest. So these are the two things which this is how I visualize myself 10 years down the line.
Amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. So the last which I want to put out is you are a self-supported endurance athlete, right? So you might need that third pillar, either in a form of friends or in a family. I see like people coming on you, like at the back, helping you out. Like what, like how did it all happen? Like how did that third pillar like helped you to go further and achieve further?
It is very similar to you guys that somebody is sitting besides Yashwant, that's you, and my wife is my biggest support system. She's a one-woman army. So when I go for a ultra long runs for 2 or 3 days at a stretch, so she manages each and everything on her own. She packs the bag, she drives the car, look look for the hotels, check-ins, check-outs, and I'm very finicky. I don't need much while running, but I need what I need. So I need a can of a Coke which should be chilled. That's how I survive. I don't eat. I'm not. I'm. I have, I'm not able to survive or adapt my body over the solid food. So I cannot, which I have to learn. I'm still trying, but I cannot have solid while running. But uh, the things which I have to run, they are much bigger. That bad waters, Patathalon. So you have to eat while running those gigantic distances. So I survive only on liquid things. So she bears with all my tantrums while running. So she's the biggest support system. Number two, I like to keep simple and light. So the thing which I cannot carry anything. The second weakness while running is I cannot carry big backpacks or stuff, and I cannot break myself. I cannot take a break because if I sit, I would sit for an hour. So she would come. Udbhai, चलना नहीं है क्या? So if I am running, I can run for hours, 10, 12 hours. But if I sit, I sit. So I don't like, I hate walking in between my runs. I hate taking breaks. So so that's how this 222 consecutive Sunday half marathons came into picture. So I shaved off everything which distracts me, or for which slows me down, or which came in between. So I renounced upon hydration. I cut down upon my music. I left my mobile behind. So I sacrificed, or I adapted my body without hydration. So now I can run a full marathon without hydrating in any kind of weather.
That's amazing.
Just on that hard. Kyunki, because I didn't want to disturb. Earlier, I used to run a half marathon every Sunday. So she prepares the stuff, and it's like a race for me. It's like an event. So I run 52 events a year. So I don't break it. So she used to prepare the whole itinerary and thing. So that was manageable. But when I started running a half marathon every day, so I felt really bad that why she should be bothered every morning at 4 a.m. So in a fit of anger, I renounced upon everything. So I stopped hydrating, and I shaved off all the dependency upon any other external factor.
Okay.
So that's how I emerged.
No, that's amazing. But again, I know we requested 1 hour. So as a closing thought, right? Like Keshav, like most of the people who are watching in Facebook, or logged in here, are having sedentary lives. They are working before laptops with the whole, the last year with the COVID happening. Most of them are sitting in their chairs, sofas, and the gyms are closed. It's not about just running, but how what is your message, why should they step out, like, as we all believe in the principles. It's not about running 10K. Can you step out 20 minutes, right? Right. Of course, anything Keshav is saying is, again, is an extremist. Everybody need not be that, but for a beginner to start, where what is your one message where every one of us, no matter which stage of life, what age group, what should they do?
Start with a 1 kilometer walk, go out, and in the nature. I don't endorse treadmill running at all. If it's extreme weather outside, it's raining, it's snowing, or you cannot step out, then you can use them as a last resort. But be in close touch with nature. Go to the nearest park or any green patch. Walk for a kilometer. Start the and that's how I train all my mentees. That start with a walk. First 3 days you have to walk, then 200 meters of running, 800 meters of walk, then 400 meters of running, and 600 meters of walk. Uh, that's how you would approach your 5K. And Rome was not built in a day. You have to take this approach only, and this is applicable on 95% of the uh, 750 crore odd people sitting out in any corner of the world. So it's
Yeah.
But yeah.
5% of the people.
So
Simple as that. And
yeah.
this is this is a very easy thing. You don't need anything. You don't need any special kind of attire for walking. You don't need anything. You just need a normal pair of sneakers or shoes, or even your chappals, and just start walking. So you can do this, and the probability of failing with the streak is minimal in this, because you can walk anywhere. If you're traveling, if you have less time, you don't need another partner. You don't need any gym equipment. Don't need any other uh, device or tool to perform that activity. So this is the best thing which anybody can practice at any point of time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Of course, again, this is just a glimpse, guys. Uh, Keshav has actually graciously accepted to be part of the One Energy Together group. So we can, constantly bug him with questions, whenever we want. That's his humility. Again, you can find him at Instagram with the name tag. I'm sure you won't forget after this, farmer on the run, and you will talk to 100 other people about what you just learned. And remember, guys, it's not about running. Our goal is to not to talk about running, but to learn the principles. If you observe, everything what Keshav said is applicable in every area of life. Let it be health, your career, your finances, your relationship. If you think like a sprinter, if you want to be Hussein Bolt on mile one, it will never happen, right? At the same time, of course, go back, get in touch with him. He is somebody not only running, he inspired, hundreds of people across globe. There is a big group, which he organizes, he helps people, he donates things for people who are underprivileged. So my our goal today is to show you a glimpse of what is possible as a human being.
And people who are who have joined us live or would be listening to this interview in YouTube or any form of podcast, you can follow me on Instagram and Strava. Links would be
Yes,
shared,
so we will
and you approach me anytime and in any format. I would be happy to help and contribute in my own individual capacity. Yeah.
yeah, as they say, right, the more fruits the tree, the humble it is, and the more bending it is. That's what we did. For us, he's a celebrity, but we reached out and seeked him. Can you spare 1 hour of your time? Giving your mindset, and it became a reality. But with this, of course, we are planning to do many more of these. Bring many, people like Keshav to get better in whatever we are doing. With that, we are signing off, guys. Thank you so much, Keshav. Of course, you have a big run. He's doing a stadium run tomorrow. So all the best from everyone.
I would be driving for 2 or 3 hours, and I would be running straight in the stadium now. And can we just open the house for
Yeah,
quick
we are opening for the quick
audio?
Q&As. So
Yeah.
I've seen couple of questions. One guy asking, how did you get all the love for the numbers?
It was, and it is innate to me. It was there. I don't know.
So the other question I have is, people saw you running on your terrace while the COVID lockdown is happening. So didn't you get bored of running on the terrace? How did you manage to stay focused on running on the terrace?
That was interesting. And uh, uh, when somebody says me that this is not possible, it 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 brings bring out a difference of mine. So lots of people criticized me when Modi ji, our honorable Prime Minister, announced the first lockdown that it would be starting from 5 a.m. in the morning. So I respected him, and I did my, and it was a Sunday. So Sunday means, Sunday is my dharam, is religion. Running a half marathon Sunday is a religion to me. So I respected him, and I started my run at 12 midnight. So I ran a half marathon midnight on the darkest of the roads. It was not easy for me. I was not prepared. I hadn't freshened up, but I did that. But people still criticized me that you disgraced him, and day is a day already started, and क्या क्या तुम्हें रात को कोविड नहीं होगा, रात को भी कोविड हो सकता है, क्यों गए, ऐसा वैसा. और they criticized me a lot. So then after 2 days, Modi ji announced a complete lockdown for 21 days. So people challenged me that ab karke dikhao, if you have a power, or if you are this much or that much. So now you have to stop running. Now we are sure that you have to take a break. Sundays won't happen. So I immediately took that challenge that I would be doing a 21 into 21. Okay, I won't be stopping, rather I would be running more. That's how my half marathon streak emerged, and I did 21 into 21 on my terrace. So that's how it started with a challenge, and I successfully did that. After that, quarantine backyard ultra, that event happened, and I ran 222 kilometers on my rooftop treadmill. It was a combination of treadmill and my rooftop. I did not step outside much, and I did. I ran for 33 hours. So it again, there was a problem or a challenge to reconcile with the time zones like we had it today. So the race started at 7 p.m. in IST, Indian Standard Time. So I had to run for two sleepless nights, not one, two. So first night and then again second. So I ran for 33 consecutive hours. I did 222 kilometers. So so I've trained. I have already trained. Rather, I become more comfortable in loops. So I have run 151 kilometers. I attempted 24 hours run. I ran in a loop of 180 meters. It was a small park with a loop of 180 meters. I did not change the direction. I ran for straight 24 hours in single direction in a smaller loop. So I train my mind, I tune my mind, and just plug it on.
Yeah, the
That's
last
all.
question I can see is how much do you sleep and how do you manage all your schedules?
So I would answer it in two parts: that what should be the ideal thing and what is happening to me. So it would come in two stages. Uh, Ideally, you should. Everybody knows that we should sleep for 8 hours. If you are not able to manage 8 hours, minimum of 6 to 7 hours sleep is mandatory. We should get, but because since I'm handling multiple profiles, uh, so I'm sleeping for 4 to 4.5 hours from past 6 months. So I'm not getting enough of sleep. I would be covering the sleep deficit in the near future. I'm saying this with my optimistic approach, but I'm not happening anytime soon. But yeah, so
What
I'm
is your
sleeping.
what is your ultimate goal, like vision, like what you want to leave this earth, what should your name be remembered as, what is your ultimate?
Uh, I want to run the entire length of this globe physically. That जहाँ पे भी सड़क है कहीं जाया जा सकता है. I want to run across the globe. I want to backpack and in each and every country and run a marathon out there. And I want to take this generation back to 100 years back when everything was organic. So that's what I want. Uh, it should be organic everywhere, and majority of the population should be eating clean.
Yeah.
So I think we are good with all the Q&As, but thanks a lot, Keshav, for giving us your valuable time and sharing the knowledge and the mindset.
Yeah,
So
of course. For to get more insights, to get to listen to this podcast, of course, follow One Energy together, and you can find us in the website. You can type it in Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But we will be creating this, releasing this material, polishing little bit. But our goal is to bring consistent people like Keshav and add value to the community. That's our vision to. It's not just living a life, but living a healthy life, not just physically, but mentally.
yep, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. See you
Thank you,
all.
everyone. Have a
Wait, wait,
great.
wait, wait. Wait for a second.
Sure.
This is
Oh,
my life,
okay,
the
Wow,
library,
that's amazing.
that's the library.
and
We see
and
where the knowledge is coming
Can
from.
you show your medals, Keshav, if you have them at one place? Maybe a packed room.
this is 10% of them. I have few cartons in the, but yeah, these are the medals and these are the books. And I would like the opportunity to thank you guys, and only because of your efforts. I have not done anything for this interview. You seems to be the most selfless people around in this whole interview thing. The amount of energy and effort you have put in, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, it's our honor.
Yeah.
We'd love to maintain this and bring you more and more. For of course, maybe give some training sessions for specifically running. Many more to come, guys.
Yeah.
Have a great night. Great rest of the weekend.
Thank you
Take care.
all.